Kylian Mbappe's move to Real Madrid was finally confirmed on Monday night. Barcelona president Joan Laporta admitted it's not great news for them. Honestly, it's bad news for any team competing against Madrid. Real Madrid just won their 6th Champions League in 11 years last Saturday, making it their 15th European Cup in total. Now they've added the best player in the world to a team that already has stars like Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. With this new addition, everyone expects Madrid to keep their title next season. Club legend Marcelo even hinted at a 16th win coming soon on Instagram. Marcelo's excitement makes sense, but it's important to remember that signing big names doesn't always guarantee success. It worked out for Madrid president Florentino Perez this time, but the first era of signing galacticos didn't end well. Florentino Perez didn't seem likely to win the 2000 Madrid presidential election at first. No one had ever beaten a sitting president, and Lorenzo Sanz looked strong, especially after leading Madrid to their second Champions League win in 3 seasons. Sanz even moved the election to July 2000, hoping to take advantage of the good feelings from their 3-0 win over Valencia in Paris 2 months earlier. But Perez won for 2 main reasons. First, he promised to clear the big debt that had piled up under Sanz. Second, and more famously, he pledged to sign Luis Figo from Barcelona, Madrid's biggest rivals. Amazingly, he managed to pull off both. Perez cleverly used the tension between Figo and the Barcelona board to get Figo to agree to the biggest and most controversial transfer in football history. This move also marked the beginning of the first Galactico era at Madrid, with Perez aiming to sign at least one superstar every summer. Perez believed this strategy made perfect sense. Success on the field and financial success were connected. The more great players you have, the more you win. The more you win, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more great players you can buy. In Perez's eyes, it was a self-sustaining cycle, and it worked, for a while. Madrid won La Liga in Figo's first season. They then lifted the Champions League trophy the next year, thanks to an iconic goal from Zidane, who broke Figo's transfer record when he joined from Juventus. After leading Brazil to World Cup victory in 2002, Ronaldo top-scored as Madrid won another Spanish title. However, 2003 marked the beginning of the end for Perez's presidency. Economically, he made his most significant signing yet by bringing in David Beckham, beating Barcelona to the punch. This was a huge commercial win. Beckham, the most famous face in sports, opened up new markets for the club. Their pre-season tour of Asia became legendary as fans flocked to see Beckham in the team. Even Sir Alex Ferguson of Manchester United was impressed, calling it the strongest squad he had ever seen in terms of names. But Perez's project fell apart because he removed some key elements. He stepped down as president in 2006, with Madrid not having won a major title in 3 years, their worst drought since 1953. His strategy of mixing stars and homegrown players failed. The young players simply weren't good enough, and Perez seemed more focused on bringing in big names for commercial success than building a winning team. Stars like Michael Owen and Robinho continued to join, but there wasn't enough room for all of them, and the team couldn't gel. Real Madrid made a huge mistake when they fired the humble Vicente del Bosque as coach and sold Claude Makelele to Chelsea just because he asked for a pay raise. Here is the thing. Makelele was doing the work of 5 players, and when he asked for more money, Perez dismissed him, saying Makelele didn't head the ball much and rarely made long passes, believing younger players would soon make everyone forget about him. However, Makelele was never forgotten and became the symbol of Perez's misjudgment. With no one protecting the defense, Madrid started to fall apart, and Carlos Queiroz, who replaced Del Bosque, couldn't fix the mess. Perez later admitted they made a mistake by hiring Queiroz, but he still didn't fully grasp the error in letting Del Bosque and Makelele go. Real Madrid learned a lot from the mistakes of their first Galactico era. When Perez came back as president, he kept spending big, breaking the transfer record twice in the summer of 2009 to bring in Kaká and Cristiano Ronaldo. He also signed Xabi Alonso to control the midfield and added Sami Khedira the next year. At that time, Lionel Messi's Barcelona was dominating world football, but Madrid gradually regained their status as the kings of European competition. They did this by making successful signings in every position. Due to these smart moves, there's good reason to believe that the third era of Perez's Galacticos will avoid the pitfalls of the first and build on the success of the second. Mbappe obviously has a huge ego and outgrew PSG doing whatever he wanted there. Now, there are questions about his fit at Real Madrid, which already has a world-class left winger in Vinicius. His arrival feels unnecessary, similar to when Perez signed Beckham, despite having Figo. However, Mbappe knows he needs to make this work at Madrid, so we likely won't see the same attitude issues. He needs Madrid to win the Champions League more than they need him, so he'll likely stay charming and flexible about his role. Vinicius and Bellingham are excited to play with Mbappe, though Rodrigo might be worried about his spot. With another Brazilian talent Endrick coming next season, Madrid will have plenty of attacking options. Carlo Ancelotti is the ideal coach to handle potential issues, maintaining team harmony like a modern Del Bosque. Perez now values strong foundations, signing young talents like Aurelien Tchouameni and Eduardo Camavinga. There's even talk of Lille's teenage defender Lenny Yoro joining before next season. Perez is set to lead a new era of success at the Santiago Bernabeu, with Mbappe, Bellingham and Vinicius, which is bad news for their rivals but thrilling for Madrid fans.